Noodle is losing an argument. He's right. He knows he's right. And he is still losing, badly, to a stranger with a cartoon frog for a profile picture. Because arguments are not won with facts. They're won with tricks. 12 of them, mostly. So today, all 12. What each trick is, why it works on your brain even when you can see it coming, and exactly what to say when somebody pulls one on you. Number 6 is the one your family uses at dinner. And stay to the end, because I'm going to show you who Noodle has been arguing with this whole time. You're not going to like it. Reply 1. Noodle types a perfectly normal sentence. I think we should have more bike lanes. The answer comes in 3 seconds. So, you want to ban all cars and make grandma walk to the hospital. Noodle just stares at the screen. He didn't say that. Nobody said that. But now he spends 40 minutes defending a thing he never said to a person who was never listening. Here's the trick. Attacking your actual argument is hard work. So instead, they build a cheap, floppy copy of it. Dumber, meaner, easier to knock over, and they beat that one up in front of everybody. Then they take the win, and it works because the audience only ever sees the last punch. This is called the straw man, and you have built one. Every time you've started a sentence with, "So what you're saying is," that was you, stuffing straw. Noodle regroups. He goes for the facts. Watch what happens. He posts a study, a real one, with numbers in it. The reply, "LOL, you have 12 followers." That's it. That's the whole rebuttal. And somehow it works. People pile in. Noodle is now defending his follower count instead of his study, and the study just quietly disappears. The move is to attack the person instead of the point, and the attacker doesn't need to be right. He just needs the audience to feel slightly embarrassed to agree with you. Nobody wants to be on team loser. The old name for it is ad hominem, to the man. Notice what actually happened, though. The study was never answered. It was just attached to a guy with 12 followers. And be honest, you dumped a fact this week because you didn't like the face that said it. 2 down. Noodle is angry now, which is exactly when the next one lands. Either you support this, or you're against safety. Pick one. And Noodle picks one, because there were only 2 options. There were not 2 options. There were about 9. But the second somebody hands you a menu with 2 things on it, your brain forgets to ask for the rest of the menu. It's a magic trick with a hidden hand. They choose which doors exist, and you feel like the one doing the choosing. Listen for it. Either or. You're one of those people who. This one is called the false dilemma, and the correct answer is always available and always allowed. Neither. Next question. That trick shrinks your options. The next one grows them until they're ridiculous. Noodle suggests the group chat could maybe start dinner at 7 instead of 8. First it's 7, then it's 6, then we're all eating at 4 in the afternoon in a nursing home. Is that what you want, Noodle? Is it? There is no chain of events here. There is only a chain of the word then. It works because your brain is a prediction machine, and a lazy one. If every step sounds a little bit plausible, you will happily slide down all 7 of them, without ever checking whether any single step actually causes the next. The words do the work. The logic does nothing. This is the slippery slope, and the fix is one boring, devastating question. Which step is the one that has to happen? Nobody ever has an answer. Score check. Noodle. Nothing. The internet. 4. It gets worse. Noodle finally lands a clean hit. Undeniable. His opponent has no answer, so his opponent does not answer. He asks a question instead. Oh, really? And what about that thing you did in 2019? And Noodle, bless him, answers it. He explains 2019 for 6 paragraphs. The original point is now dead. It was never beaten. It was just left behind while everybody chased a shiny new topic. This is the emergency exit of arguing. If you can't defend, deflect. And deflect towards the other person's flaws, because that's a fight you might actually win. The name is Whataboutism, and 2 things can be true at once. The other guy can be a hypocrite, and also completely right. Being a hypocrite has never once made a fact stop being a fact. Number 6, this is the one that shows up at dinner. Noodle's uncle, well, a doctor said it on a podcast. Noodle, holding an actual study, has no idea what to do with this. Now, experts are useful. Trusting a heart surgeon about your heart isn't a fallacy, it's a Tuesday. The fallacy is when the expert isn't an expert in the thing you're talking about. A doctor on medicine is an authority. A doctor on the housing market is a man with an opinion and a very nice voice. It works because your brain keeps confident and credentialed in the same folder as true. This is the appeal to authority, the broken kind, and the counter is one polite little question. An expert in what exactly? Halfway. 6-0, and now they start playing dirty. Noodle is asked for proof. He gives proof. Okay, but that's one study. He gives 4. Okay, but they're all from one country. He finds studies from 3 continents. Okay, but who funded them? Noodle has now done 9 hours of research for a man who was never going to be satisfied, because satisfaction was never the point. Every time Noodle reaches the goal quietly walks away. This is moving the goalposts, and there is exactly one defense, and you use it before you do the work. What evidence would change your mind? If they can't answer that, and they usually can't, it was never an argument. It was a treadmill, and you were the one running. Number 8 is the sneakiest one on the list. It lets somebody be wrong forever. Noodle says, loads of gamers are really nice. No real gamer is nice. My friend Dave is a gamer, and he's lovely. Then Dave isn't a real gamer. And just like that, the claim can never be wrong. Every counterexample gets thrown out of the club for not being a real member. It's a rule that rewrites itself the second it's threatened. This is the no True Scotsman. So listen for the word real. Real fans. Real Germans. Real men. That word is doing something, and it isn't describing anything. And you have thrown somebody out of a club this year for liking a thing wrong. The next one sounds so reasonable it barely feels like a trick. It's natural, so it's better. Noodle nods, because that sounds right. Nature, good. Chemicals, bad. File closed. Cyanide is natural. Snake venom is natural. Being eaten by a bear is extremely natural. Meanwhile, insulin is made in a factory, and it keeps millions of people alive. Natural tells you where a thing came from. It tells you nothing about whether it works, and nothing about whether it's safe. Those are separate questions, and they need separate evidence. This is the appeal to nature, and this one doesn't get you in arguments. It gets you at the supermarket every week. That's not a debate you're losing. That's money. 3 left. And the next one isn't a mistake. It's a weapon, and people use it on purpose. The reply lands. 18 claims in 1 paragraph. 18. Half of them wrong, 3 completely invented, and 1 is just a number with no sentence around it. Noodle starts writing. Carefully, he takes claim 1 apart, properly with a source. It takes him 400 words. The other guy typed all 18 in 90 seconds, and to everybody watching, it now looks like Noodle answered 1 thing out of 18. This is the Gish Gallop. Nonsense is cheap to make and expensive to clean up. So don't clean up. Pick the weakest claim, destroy it completely, and then ask, if that one was wrong, why would I trust the other 17? And you have been galloped. You lost a whole evening to it. 11 is the most sophisticated trick in this video. It has a castle in it. Somebody makes a wild claim. Noodle challenges it, and the claim suddenly shrinks. Well, all I'm saying is people should be kind to each other. Well, yes, obviously. Nobody is arguing with that. Then Noodle walks away, and the wild claim comes straight back out, exactly as it was. Old castles had 2 parts. The Bailey, the nice, comfortable, wide open land where you actually want to live. And the Motte, the ugly little tower you sprint into when you're attacked. The outrageous claim is the Bailey. The obvious, harmless one is the Motte. Attack them, and they run to the tower. Stop attacking, and they stroll straight back out. This is the Motte and Bailey, and the counter is beautiful. Great. So you're dropping the first claim? Watch how fast they change the subject. Last one. And this one isn't a trick at all. It's the default setting on your brain. Noodle argues that his lucky socks work. The evidence. 3 times he wore them, his team won. He does not mention the 11 times he wore them, and his team lost. He isn't lying. He genuinely doesn't remember those. His brain deleted them, quietly, as a favor. The name comes from a man who fires 100 bullets at a barn wall. Then he walks up, finds the tightest little cluster of holes, and paints a target around it. Perfect bullseye. He just drew it last. That's what we all do with evidence. Shoot first. Paint the target afterwards, around the hits you liked. This is the Texas Sharpshooter, and it is the reason every superstition you have comes with proof. So, 12 tricks. Noodle, 0. The internet, 12. And now the thing I promised you at the start. Who has Noodle actually been arguing with for 11 minutes at 1 in the morning? Zoom in on the profile picture. It's a straw man, an actual bag of straw in a hat. It never had a single thought in its life. It doesn't exist. It never did, because that's the real trick, and it isn't one of the 12. You almost never argue with a person. You argue with the version of them you built inside your own head, the dumbest possible version, the one that's easy to beat, and then you win, and you feel amazing, and absolutely nothing happens. So don't use these 12. Just name them, out loud, in the reply, calmly. That's a straw man. That's moving the goalposts. Naming a trick kills it, because these things only work in the dark. Now tell me in the comments, which of the 12 have you personally pulled on somebody? Be brave. It's number 5. It's always number 5. And listen, you can win every argument on this list and still lose the room, because the whole time you're talking, they're reading your body. That video is on your screen right now. Subscribe and stop losing to a bag of straw. Use your Noodle. See you in the next one.